Hi everyone, I am Dr. Evangeline Whitehead and I am here today to explore something we all use but often misunderstood, the power of communication. Any guess about the topic? Good. It is assertive communication. I'm passionate about helping people find their voice clear, confident, and respectful. In this session, we'll explore how to speak up with confidence, say what do you mean, and still build respect and connection. We are going to speak in a way that earns respect and gets result. All right, let's start with an icebreaker. I need your support on this project. Okay, it's a phrase. So you can say the sentence in three different styles. One is passive, the other one is aggressive, and the third one is assertive. If I ask you to say this particular phrase passively, you'll say, okay, I was just thinking maybe if it's not too much trouble, could you possibly help me with this project? Uh, if you're busy, it's totally okay for me. So this is a passive kind of gesture. Okay, aggressive. Yeah, you need to help me with this project. I can't do this alone, and you have no choice but to assist me. Got it? This is very aggressive. And the third one is assertive. I need a help with this project, my dear. Your support would make a real difference, and I'd appreciate working together on this project. So, which style sounds good and which style you like? Maybe it's assertive, right? Yes. Okay. Uh, so, before we dive into the topic, could you help me understand what do you mean by assertive communication? So scan this QR code and you will enter into the Padlet interface. All right. And you'll see a plus button and click that button. There you will get your typing tab. Okay. So whatever comes to your mind about assertive communication, you can type there. Okay, just take 1 minute to type your answer. So if you are unable to scan this QR code, the link of this particular Padlet is already given in the chat box. You can copy that link and you can paste it in your tab and you can give your responses. So Padlet is a kind of pool where you can give your answers. All right? Okay, that's fine. We'll move to the next slide. So I'm going to talk about the objective and the learning outcomes of this session. Okay. So objective of this day is assertive communication in real life situation. The second one is the learning outcome. So the learning outcome is a constructive dialogue that leads to a balanced decision. And the third one is application. Okay. Application of this concept is to constructively agreeing or disagreeing and confidently navigating workplace scenarios. All right. Okay. Now comes the main part. the concept or the core idea of this class. So, what is assertive communication? So, assertive communication in the workplace is not just a feel good factor, all right? It's a critical component for workplace success. While efficiency is considered as a top priority in the workplace, assertive communication deserves recognition as a vital component of organizational success. So, clarity, self regulation, empathy, and social skills are the four pillars of this assertive communication. I repeat it: clarity, self regulation, empathy, and social skills are the four pillars of assertive communication. Uh, so, assertive communication in the workplace. Um, so, direct and honest expression. Um, you need to clearly state your thoughts, feelings, or needs in a respectful and a straightforward way without hiding or exaggerating or avoiding the truth. The second one, value others' feelings and their opinions and their rights as equally important as your own. Express yourself confidently while considering and respecting the, the needs and perspectives of others. And encourage op- open, respectful communication that leads to uh, shared understanding and teamwork. So these are the core ideas of assertive communication in the workplace. So now we are going to see the assertive communication approach. So clarity. So clarity comes first. Clearly express your thoughts, feelings, and needs without ambiguity. Okay, that is very, very important. And the second one is self regulation. Manage your emotions in a healthy way, adapt to changing circumstances. Empathy. Understand other people's emotions, offer comfort and support. And the last one is social skills. As I told you, build and maintain relationships, have effective communication. So these are the four pillars of this particular assertive communication style. So we should not be passive and we should not be aggressive. We should be always assertive in communicating with others, especially in the workplace. So I repeat: clarity, self regulation, empathy, and social skills are the four major pillars of this assertive communication approach. Okay, now narrowly we come to the concept of this day. Um, so today's topic is formal expressions for agreeing and disagreeing. Okay, so in the workplace, sometimes you'll agree with your colleagues, you'll agree with your managers, and sometimes, most of the times, you'll agree, but sometimes you'll disagree also, right? But there is a way to politely express your disagreement to your colleagues, right? So today's concept is that. So formal expressions for agreeing and disagreeing is a very minor topic of this assertive communication, but it's very, very important how to disagree, right? Assertively, not aggressively, and not passively. All right, good. So, expressing opinions in the office uh, is crucial for collaboration, innovation, building strong relationships, right? Understanding communication styles. As I told you, uh, passively, if you say For example, the passive person who communicate passively will avoid conflicts and mostly sacrifices his needs, right? For example, sure, I guess I can finish that by Friday. Uh, that is a kind of passiveness. All right, so they avoid conflicts and they sacrifices more here in the workplace. Aggressive demands, aggressive dominates, and aggressive disregards others. As I told you already, uh, you have to finish this by this day. No excuses. Okay, this is aggressive. And assertive in the assertive communication, um, you will definitely avoid certain phrases like "I guess" and or "I hope," but use confident and decisive language such as "I believe," "I need," or "I'm confident." So assertive is direct. Assertive communication is direct, it is honest, and it is respectful. I understand the urgency. However, my current commitments allow completion by Monday. Can we prioritize? So it's a kind of a thing that you don't conflict and you need not sacrifice. At the same time, you are not dominating others, but assertively you say, what can you do with that particular project? So again, I ask you to uh, give your opinions in the Padlet. You already have the QR code and you have the uh, link in the chat box. So again, enter into it and say which style do your teams encounter most frequently, or which style do you specifically use in your workplace. All right. Yeah. So now we are going to play a scenario taking roles. Okay. So the role play scenario is office debate, a debate between the colleagues on remote work policy. Okay. The setting is a modern office conference room discussing a proposal for a new remote work policy. All right. There are four members. One is the HR manager, the second one is the team lead, and a senior developer is there, and also a sales executive is there. Okay. So I ask you to discuss and decide on the new remote work policy, which proposes allowing employees to work from home 3 days a week. So Lisa, Rachel, and Sarah agree. But Kathy, who's the team lead, uh, disagrees because she needs people all the time in the office. So this is a kind of debate, and you need to work on it. You can take your discussion rooms, breakout rooms, and you can discuss and come back. Let's start the role play now. All right. Okay, what are the agreeing phrases and the disagreeing phrases? Agreeing means I am on the same page, totally agree. It's a kind of surrender, like, right? Totally agree. I think you are spot on. So these are all agreeing phrases. Disagreeing phrases is I'm not sure. I see it that way. I have a different take on this. I'm not convinced. So these are all disagreeing phrases. So you can use these phrases. I believe you used these kind of phrases in your role play session. And techniques for politely disagreeing. Acknowledge the other person's perspective. Okay. As I give you an example, you can just politely ask to prioritize your work, meeting the deadlines at the same time, help getting other support and so on. So start by recognizing their viewpoint before offering your own. Okay, listen to them first. So listening is a great skill in the workplace. So you need to listen to your colleagues' opinions, their thoughts, and then you explain your thinking, your thoughts. So focus on the specific issue. Avoid personal attacks or making it about the person. So personal attacks, revenges should not be there. Provide constructive feedback. All right, suggest alternatives or solutions instead of just disagreeing. Okay, you have all the rights to disagree, but you need to give your solution instead of just blindly disagreeing or rejecting anyone's idea. Okay, that is called the constructive way of approaching the colleagues, especially when you do a project with the other members. And then use a calm and respectful tone. Avoid being aggressive or defensive. So these are the very gentle techniques for politely disagreeing. And a quick assessment. Okay, so spend at least 5 minutes, um, or if you want more time, you can take it. And I have the answers in the same screen. So read the questions, and every question has four options, and one option is the correct answer. Okay, for example, you disagree with your manager's approach to your project. What is the most assertive way to handle the situation? So option A says stay silent to avoid conflict, publicly challenge your manager in a team meeting. So stay silent to avoid conflict is a passive way of reacting. Publicly challenge your manager in a team meeting is an aggressive way of approaching the matter. Schedule a private conversation to express your viewpoint respectfully. So this is aggressive, right? And the fourth option is complain to your colleagues but avoid discussing it with your manager. So this is also not a correct option. So option C is the correct answer. So go through the other questions and get your answer. All right, that's fine. Okay, now let's move to the next one. So I'm bringing an acronym for remembering the focus of assertiveness. Okay, so uh, this is a very powerful and an easy way to remember acronym for assertive communication, that is focus arc. So what is focus arc? Find common ground and focus on the issue. So F. And the second one is open-mindedness. So have open-mindedness always. Don't have personal attacks or negative opinion on your colleagues. So open-mindedness. And the third one is communicate clearly. Okay, communicate clearly and avoid vague or apologetic phrases, right? So that is the third one. And the fourth one is use strategic approaches. Understand everyone and use strategic approaches and seek understanding. Uh, Seek a solution, find a solution with a collaborative outcome or mutual agreement. Then avoid personal attacks. As I always tell you, when you have an assertive communication in the working place, you should definitely avoid personal attacks, and then respectful dialogue. Use respectful dialogue and consider alternative perspectives. All right. So the acronym is focus arc. So for assertive communication, you have to use this focus arc. All right. And yeah, so every matter has a feedback. So every activity has a feedback, right? So provide constructive feedback. Be specific. Okay, focus on specific behaviors or actions. Be timely. Don't delay your feedback. So immediately have time and provide your feedback so that the person who is receiving your feedback will on the reflect on your feedback on a positive way. So give your timely feedback and be respectful. Use a calm and respectful tone and be solution oriented, right? Feedback is just like condemning people is not a good way of giving feedback, right? We need not condemn anyone, but politely you can say the mistakes, and also you should give the solutions, right? Solutions for that particular matter where you give your feedback. So offer suggestions for improvement. So why assertiveness matters in the workplace? uh, so assertiveness uh, is addressing common challenges. So if you don't be assertive, either if you are if you give a passive communication or aggressive communication, normally the project will delay because of the lack of understanding. So it is the first common challenge, right? And then unclear requirements leads to project failures and burnout and overload. So if you are very aggressive, definitely some burnout, some kind of uh, unpleasant situations will happen. And many IT professionals report burnout. All right, not only IT professionals. So burnout and overloaded uh, feeling is prevailing everywhere. So be careful on that. And conflict avoidance. Okay, this conflict avoidance hinders innovation and problem solving. So if you have a conflict, face that very gently and find out a solution for it. If you avoid the conflict, then it is passive. If you if you're aggressive, then you will not find solution. You will not get any cooperation from your colleagues or from your subordinates. So avoidance is not the best practice. You need to address this assertively. Hope you got my point. So, what are the practical way of using assertiveness? I have given you 5 major techniques. Uh, Say no to scope creep. Okay, there is a sample conversation sentence is given there. I appreciate the added feature, but that extends our sprint by 2 days. Can we plan it for the next iteration? So this is called saying no. So here he didn't say no actually directly, but he avoided it, right? And negotiating deadlines. Given the unexpected dependency, the original 2 day estimate is no longer feasible. I project 4 days or we scale back future X. Okay, this is negotiating deadlines and giving constructive feedback. As I just told you, give a constructive feedback and clarifying ambiguous requirements. Okay, so make it very clear. Make it very clear. So the subordinates or the colleagues should understand what do you really expect from them, right? So give a very clear instructions or suggestions to them, right? And setting availability boundaries. Uh, so you need to fix a deadline, a very practicable, uh, practically reachable deadlines so that your colleagues can work properly. So this is again a very, very important technique. So these are the 5 practical assertive techniques that you can keep it in your mind. And all right, so almost we have come to the end of the session. So I'm giving you an assignment. Okay, the scenario is that you are working on a group project at university. One of your teammates consistently submits their part late, causing delays for the whole group. You feel frustrated because you are trying to meet the deadline. Now, you have to write, uh, you should assertively address your teammate in this situation. So your response should at least have five clear steps. You can either follow the techniques or the pillars of the assertiveness. So you can use anything and just create some five clear steps. Okay. Mm. You need to address this issue assertively. So this is your assignment. So tomorrow I will see your assignment. Okay, tomorrow is the deadline, 24 hours. So we come to the conclusion. Embrace assertiveness for excellence. All right. Assertiveness is clarity and respect, not aggression. Start with I statements in your next team meeting, and practice makes progress. So practice assertiveness, practice assertive communication in your family, in your working place, in your college, and everywhere. And also seek feedback and reflect on the feedback. All right. So thank you so much. And this is the end of the session. Thank you for listening.